Chairperson, good afternoon, General.
Good.
I want to ask very few questions. I think colleagues have dealt with a lot of issues. Were you reluctant to open a case against those who were involved in the issuing of illegal directives or instruction, including General Sibiya, who wrote a letter to disband PKTT, even when you said you shouldn't issue that letter? I will deal with the matter.
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. Good afternoon, Honorable Member. No, I wasn't reluctant. After we discovered what is being happening, I appended my signature, I appended my affidavit, and give it to the members to open a case, which is it's being open. It's an inquiry, but sure it will end up being a case.
No, but General Mkhwanazi says he came to you 3 times, and you only got the affidavit when he came for the 3rd time. He had to come himself to Pretoria and wait for you to write an affidavit. So why would he come to you 3 times if you're not reluctant to open a case?
You know, I wasn't reluctant, Honorable Chair. I wrote the affidavit, and of course, if there are certain matters that they find that they are not included in the statement, they will indicate, ask me to say, what about this? Then I'll amend the affidavit and write it and give it. I was never hesitant, Honorable Chair.
I don't think it is correct to say the crime scene is in KZN. The crime scene is in Pretoria. The dockets are taken to Pretoria. The letters are being written in Pretoria. Some of these implicated people are in Pretoria. You wait for a general from KZN to come and ask for an affidavit from you instead of you registering or opening a case in Pretoria as a top cop, because these things are happening at the head office, not necessarily in KZN. KZN and General Mkhwanazi tells us that he only comes in when they started touching PKTT. So, meaning these people have been running wrong things there in the head office. And General, you don't open a case until General Mkhwanazi comes. What informs that?
Honorable Chair, the opening of the case, we only opened the case after we realized what is happening. Even he didn't open a case before because we didn't know what was happening. After we realized what is happening, then we wrote that's when I appended my affidavit, and we look as to where will this be, and we said, well, the team is in KZN, and we registered the case there in KZN. It didn't make a difference, but we said the scene is there where it happened. But yeah, that's how we arrived at it.
No, General, all of us agree that everything happened after you discovered there is a rot. There's something going on which is wrong. You should accept that you did not act in a responsible manner as a national commissioner after you discovered that there was something wrong. If General Mkhwanazi can open a case, you too had a duty to open a case. Actually, it was supposed to be you, not even General Mkhwanazi, because your deputy in Pretoria is the one who issues illegal instruction. Your minister in Pretoria is the one who issues illegal directives and to deal with the people of KZN. So the crime scene is in Pretoria. That's where it's being operated from. It's not being operated in KZN. It's being operated from the head office. As a national commissioner, you ought to take responsibility that on hindsight, you now realize that you are actually the most responsible person who should have acted on these matters.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I agree, the responsible, but where the case was open, remember the directive was directed to PKTT, and the seat of PKTT is in KwaZulu-Natal. And, well, you can't open a case without affidavit. I'm the first one to pen my affidavit. And this is how we open a case, because you can't open a case without the affidavit. That affidavit of mine is the one that opened a case.
Now, what happens? What are the police protocols when your deputy is told by the most senior, then highest authority, don't do anything, don't write this letter. I will attend to this matter myself, leave it. And then you wake up the following day, this guy has written a letter. Let's leave the case and all of that. In terms of protocol, what did you do? Because Sibiya gets suspended after the press conference of Kwanazi and all of that, but you discover that this person, I told him, just from a labor point of view and hierarchy and protocols, it can't be that you can give your subordinate an instruction and he that is extreme. To write a letter to disband PKTT and you don't take action against him until there is this noise on Sibiya. Only then we get to hear about special leave and all of that. But that is where after Sibiya defied you and wrote a letter against your wish.
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair. I did say that I did call him and say, leave the matter right at the beginning. He wrote letters, and later I learned that he's still doing this. Hence, I told him, hey, I called him, don't interfere with this PKTT.
Chair, no. I hear you. But what are the protocols? I mean, everywhere else, what are the protocols? If you say to this guy, don't write a letter, especially on such a matter, and he writes a letter, the protocol is not, hey, don't do this. What course of action are you allowed to take, and why didn't you take that action against him?
Well, one of the actions I can take is to warn him, which I did at some point in April, May. I did call him and say, stop doing what you are doing.
Now, General, from where I'm sitting, and I don't have a doubt, unlike Honorable President, I agree that you opposed the dissolution of PKTT. And you did it in your own manner, because sitting there, I can see an agreeable person. So you are not going to come across as if you are General Mkwanazi or Malema or anything. You've got your way of communicating things. So that's your political principle. Whether they call it a boss or not, it's a political principle. It's overseeing your work and the work of the department and all of that. When he says dissolve PKTT and you are not agreeing, it can only be the way you are doing it. Okay, no, I hear you, why? And then the person is not budging on reasons. And then you say, well, let's take time, try to see how we go about it, because you're hoping something in between will happen. So you're buying time so that there could be a possible intervention. And amongst other things, in between, you went to the president and briefed him and all of that. Will I be correct to make that observation that right from the scratch, you were not in doubt that this thing must not be dissolved? But you can't speak to your minister as if you are speaking to your subordinate. You find a correct within a measured ways to address that point.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Yes, I believe that it's not right, and I find a way to address him, for him to open up, to tell us why is he disbanding this team, and that door remained not open.
Now, General, who qualifies to, when there is an information that deserves to be classified. Who qualifies to classify information?
It is the author of the information.
So minister can classify IPIT investigation on Palapal. Does he have a power to do that? If IPIT investigate and comes to the conclusions, and before they release, they share the information with the minister, a minister says, no, this report is classified, don't release. Does he have such a power?
No, it wouldn't be the minister who classified it. He can say it if he saw that the report is classified, but he doesn't have the power to classify it. The report would have been classified by the author, in this case, which is IPIT.
So the IPIT classified Palapala investigation?
According to what you are saying, yes, that will be correct, because I don't have it with me and I wouldn't know what level of classification is there. But
no, I'm not according to me. I'm asking if Palapala was investigated by IPIT and then at the later stage they classified that investigation.
Themselves as the authors, through your Honorable Chair, would have, if the report is classified, it will be them, IPIT, that classified the report.
Have you checked up on General Kumalo since he called since he went on sick leave or something like that?
I did, Honorable Chair.
And how is he doing?
No, he's doing quite well now.
So we should expect to have him soon?
Yeah, we can expect him soon, yeah. It was quite a tragic thing, but I think maybe a week or so, he will be fine.
Now, General, when you say PKTT did a good job and therefore it must not be closed down, are there few examples you can give us of the work done by the PKTT which are tangible and we can be in a position to make a quick reference to and confirm that indeed this team has made serious inroads?
Yeah, even though I don't have the details of each case, but there is a number of cases that I can give that they resolved. One of them, as I said, is the case of the DA councillor in Bergville. He was convicted for murder and killing. The case of also, I think, is a DA councillor around Howick. There has been convictions in that regard, and a number of people, including the Nkosi there, has been arrested, and the case is going on. And yeah, the case of Cindy Somagata, it is the PKTT that have unraveled what we now know. And the case is not yet still finalized. There has been conviction of some suspects or accused, but the case is not finalized. So there is still arrests that will unfold once the first phase is finalized. So yeah, some of the cases now and then you see in the media where I think recently they did get a life sentence in the murder at Lady Smith. They got life sentences. A number of cases they had life sentences. And in terms of arrests, we have seen they've recently, of course, brought Mr. Molefe on a number of cases, Ket Matlala on a number of cases. And in KZN, it's quite a number of cases, just that I will need to talk to each case, but those are the success that they have done. And also in terms of police officials that were involved in this type of political killings, or they aided in one or another or defeated the ends of justice. There is 34 police officials that the PKTT arrested, which some of them have been sentenced, some of them are still going court, and majority have been dismissed. Few are still left in the organization. And there is a number of firearms that they have recovered, over 100 firearms that they recovered, which were linked to these cases, where they also found people guilty of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. So, yeah.
Now, when they went to Molefe's house to arrest him, they found a leader of the PA, Kenny Kunene, with Molefe, and they claimed there were other people, including a journalist. Are you aware of other people who were found in that house, or any journalist who was found in the house of Molefe when he was getting arrested?
I'm not, I'm aware that there was a journalist, but I don't know who. But I know that they did find Mr. Kunene at that house.
And a journalist? A journalist?
Yeah, the journalist, yes. I don't know who the journalist is, but I know that they did find Mr. Kunene there. Actually, it wasn't the first time. When they went for the second time, they found him there.
When they went for the first time for Molefe, they found Mr. Kunene there, and when they went the second time, they found Mr. Kunene there.
Yeah, the first time he tended the gate, they were inside busy. He came to the gate and they showed him the road, and luckily, whatever he got, he went for the road.
General Mkhwanazi told us that you guys can search WhatsApps, including a view once and deleted WhatsApps and all of that. Do you have an equipment like that as SAPS, or have you outsourced that responsibility to a private company? And if it's a private company, whose company is that? And how was that tender awarded?
The Honorable Chair,
because we don't want to be searched here WhatsApps by Matala. Yeah? You give Matala's tenders there. Only to find this WhatsApp thing is in the wrong hands. So we need to know if it's private, who. But if you've got equipment, that's enough.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. The question is quite sensitive to answer this one. But we don't use service providers, but
so meaning it's internal.
I don't want to confirm that we can do that.
No, General Mkhwanazi came and told us. He said it himself. It's not like we're bringing a rumor or anything. He was sitting there. He told us that they search WhatsApps. They take your phone and search WhatsApps, and they've got it. Even if you delete, they will still find a way of using whatever equipment. So it's not a rumor. He came here and told us that. So I wanted you, as a top cop, to confirm if indeed that is correct.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I'll have to go back and check with my division, crime intelligence.
Now, Mr. Nkabinde, what was his involvement in the operations of SAPS? Because he will be a chief of staff and operate at that level of the ministry. But the impression we get is that he was now interfering with the admin issues that do not necessarily need a political office to be involved.
Yeah, he would, Honorable Chair, he would interact with during meetings, when we have meetings with the ministers.
And he didn't, outside the meetings, he didn't get involved in the giving officials instructions or anything of that sort?
Yeah, no. From the sub side, I am not aware of, but from where he was worked once at IPID, I'm not sure. I wouldn't know.
And then Brown Mukhozi, was he ever involved with subs operations or interference of any kind?
No, what I know of, as I said, the first time Honorable Chair heard of the name Brown Mukhozi was from General Mkonazi when he raised matters, and I said no, let's investigate it, and we investigated, because when he got involved, that's when he was alerting General Mkonazi about the Mbangeni search that was done at the prison by the members of SAP. So it was at that juncture that he did speak to me about Brown Mukhozi. He bring back an incident that happened long ago, which actually was resolved long ago by myself, of the Mbangeni search of a prison warder's house.
What is so difficult with issuing out security clearance to people like General Mkhwanazi? Because he says it's not of his own fault. There are many others who are awaiting to get security clearance, and it looks like at the intelligence, a crime intelligence or intelligence office, there are some people who are just deliberately holding clearance certificates for certain individuals.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, one of the reforms that we are doing is in that environment to reform. We do not say if somebody is not supposed to get, must get. However, those that qualify to get, they should get. But yes, I picked up that there are problems, and General Khumalo was attending to those problems that were in that environment. So now I will take it further. I'm taking it further with the new DIFCOM, with a view to bring reforms in that environment. And the reforms doesn't mean they must dish out willy-nilly security clearances, but all we are saying is they must do it proper, because somewhere there is, they do things in the wrong way. For example, you would recall that there was an issue about the security clearance of General Khumalo, which was, they said, was issued within a week, which is a lie. General Khumalo started the security clearance in 2018, and it was only finalized that time. And there is nothing wrong if I or any of the commanders saying, how far are you with so and so security clearance? They say, no, in a week we'll finalize it. Okay, no, finalize and let us know. There's nothing wrong with that. But then also there is a Major General Madondo who was there in crime intelligence, which they refused him the security clearance, and which was wrong, because before that, the same directorate did issue him with a security clearance. Because, for example, they say you have let's say, a case of assault some years ago when he was still a sergeant or a constable, and that case is expunged, and well, he was found guilty, dealt with it, whatever, he paid fine. And later, when he was a brigadier, they issued issued him with the security clearance. And when it expires, now you can't come and raise the reason that I don't give you now because 30 years or 35 years ago, you had an assault case, whereas you did issue after that. So those were the disparities that we picked up. And hence I think it was himself, General Madondo, and General Khan, security clearance, that we referred to our other sister department to deal with that. So, but we are reforming that section with a view to, well, it's not the only one, but it's a number of areas that we need to reform in that environment.
Will you agree with a proposal that the top management of the police must be subjected to lifestyle audit, and that lifestyle audit must be done outside SAPS, perhaps with an institution like SIU?
I do agree, Honorable Chair. Hence, I've undertaken that process in April, and we are quite advanced in terms of having those processes to go. I don't see any problem. SIU can do it, or anybody else, but for now, SIU agreed to do it, and they are going to do it. They will start with myself and go down.
Thank you very much, General. Thank you very much, Chairperson. We can go to lunch now.
Thanks. I want to thank you. This is so Christian-like. Honorable members, let me do this. I need to correct myself and apologize.